Everybody, and welcome to this very special sports presentation on WLCS TV. Tonight you'll see Lorain Admiral King play host to the Elyria High Pioneers. Lorain Admiral King comes in with a record of 1-3 on the year, while the Pioneers on a little bit of a roll. They've won 2 in a row, including last week's win over Southview. Elyria High now 2-2 on the season. Should be an outstanding matchup from George Daniels Stadium in Lorain, and we'll be back to bring you the opening kickoff right here on WLCS TV after this. Gary Burke to kick it off for the Elyria High Pioneers as they will defend the goal to our left, and Lorain Admiral King will go right to left on your radio dial, and the kick is in the air and we are underway. On the return, David Rivera for Lorain Admiral King brings it to the middle of the field, and he's swarmed under at about the 22-yard line. So the Admirals have it, first down and 10 at their own 22 as we are just underway in our Kohlmeyer Sports Gridiron Clash. Lorain Admiral King in their home blue uniforms tonight with the gold pants, white letters and numbers with the gold trim. The Pioneers in their traveling white uniforms, red letters and numbers with the black trim, black pants with the red and white stripe down the side. Lorain Admiral King first down and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Mike Tokarczyk is the quarterback with Justin Mills and David Peoples behind him. Peoples gets the handoff, tries the right side, and there isn't any room whatsoever. He may have gotten to the 24 for a short gain of 1. Chris Heathcote was there for Elyria High. And actually, they're going to spot David Peoples down right at the original line of scrimmage, second down and 10. Again, Mills is the fullback, a 215-pound senior with David Peoples, the tailback, 190-pound 11th grader. David Rivera, Patrick Wooten will both see action at wingback. Sean Smith in at wide receiver, and he now splits wide to the left, a 5'11 junior. I formation behind Tokarczyk on a second down. Tokarczyk, quick drop, hangs it deep down to left side, and the pass is tipped and incomplete at the 45-yard line. He was looking for Sean Smith. Andy Dicken, the 5'8 junior defensive back for Elyria High, was there on coverage.
Well, there was no doubt where he was going with that one. He faded back to pass and kept looking to his left for Sean Smith the entire way.
We'll set up a third down and 10. For Lorain Admiral King up front, Matt Waldron is the center. Corey Fleming and Chad Griffin are the guards. Deshaun Ty and John Graver are the tackles. Frank Solosi and Brian Herbert will both see action at tight end. I formation on a third down and 10 from the 23-yard line. And whistles blow and flags fly as Admiral King may not have gotten that play off in time. Let's see. Well, we've got an illegal procedure call against the Admirals. That will push them back 5 yards. Make it third down and 15. Sean Smith looks over at Terry King on the Lorain Admiral King sideline. Heads back to the huddle, so the ball now inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Third and 15. Again, Sean Smith comes wide to the left. Andy Dicken comes over to meet him defensively for Elyria High. Pioneers in a 4-3 defense. Tokarczyk, long signal count, handoff goes to Peoples. He's got a hole, but it's quickly shut down at the 20-yard line. So Lorain Admiral King not able to generate anything on their first offensive series of the night, and they'll punt the football over to Elyria High with 10:50 left here in the opening quarter. The Admirals and the Pioneers in our Kohlmeyer Sports Gridiron Clash. First of 2 this weekend here on AM 930 WEOL. Tomorrow night, we'll bring you Elyria Catholic at Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Mills to punt for Lorain Admiral King. Low snap, gets it away. He ends up going down, no flag. And then the Pioneer receiver comes up and is popped at the 45-yard line. The ball takes an Admiral King bounce all the way inside the 40 to the 39, but for the Elyria High Pioneers, Kurt Kershaw came up to make the catch on the punt, and he got drilled at the 47-yard line.
There was no doubt that was interference. That's going to cost them 15 yards. It was close, though, to a roughing the punter call. The official back by the punter looked and hesitated as one of the Elyria rushers just brushed him a bit. He didn't think it was serious enough to throw the flag, and he didn't. But I think the Admirals obviously are going to be penalized now, but it was close to going the other way.
So Elyria High will have great field position for their first possession of the night, as the Pioneers will bring their offense to the field for the first time. 10:22 to go in the opening quarter. Nick Redinger is the Elyria High quarterback.
The officials are discussing something with Elyria captain. Well, there's no question they've got to accept the penalty. Now they're going to go over to the Elyria bench and talk with Daryl Main. Daryl's out on the field, got his hands outstretched.
He's in the huddle.
Oh. They waved off the penalty.
I think what they did was they would have had to make Admiral King kick the ball over again from 15 yards back because the ball did not actually change possessions, I believe.
Believe it or not, that's Gary Pelter on that Lorain Admiral King sideline. He'll be there throughout the first quarter and switch over to the Pioneer side during the second quarter of play tonight. So the ball will be spotted at the 39-yard line. So it's first down and 10 for Elyria High at their own 39. Stacked eye behind Nick Redinger. Redinger, fake handoff, rolling to the right. Left-hander looks, throws deep, complete to Scott, who falls down after making the catch at the 35-yard line. So a huge pickup for Elyria High on their first play of the night as left-handed quarterback Nick Redinger on a beautiful play-action pass, threw it deep. And if Scott had been able to keep his feet, Wally, he would have gone, because he was definitely behind a lot of blue uniforms as nobody got back there defensively for the Lorain Admiral King Admirals.
In turning around to look for the ball, he stumbled a little bit and lost his balance. Just couldn't hang on with his feet, but he did the main thing and caught the football.
First down and 10 for Elyria High, and now the tailback deep in the eye for the Pioneers. Kurt Kershaw leaned forward just a hair before the snap of the football. That'll be an illegal procedure call against Elyria High and push them back 5 yards. That last sideline update from Gary Pelter over on the Lorain Admiral King side was brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Center in Lorain. They love feet at the Ankle and Foot Center. Call 246-1200. First and 15 now for Elyria High. Ball spotted at the Lorain Admiral King 40-yard line. No score in the football game. I formation behind Nick Redinger, 6'1" senior. Kershaw is the deep back in the eye. Kershaw gets the handoff, comes right up the middle, spins away from a tackler at the 35 and fights his way to about the Lorain Admiral King 31-yard line. In on the stop was Chad Griffin for the Admirals, but Kershaw with a nice spin move at the 35 managed to pick up about 4 more yards for a gain of 9.
That move, nobody could really wrap him up. He was able to set himself free and kind of just lunged forward.
Ball at the right hash mark. Second down, and we'll call it 6. 9:05 and the clock running here in the first quarter of play. Pioneers go back to the stacked eye. Andy Dickin is now the deep back in the eye. Redinger gives to play action, rolling to the left. Redinger facing some heat. Now he's going to take off with the football, gets to the 30 and fights his way down to about the 25-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds on the Pioneer sideline.
Redinger shows some speed getting around the corner like that.
James Branson ran him out of bounds.
Going to be short of the first down
for Lorain Admiral King, and Redinger ended up about a yard shy of the first down. Nick Redinger not only showed some nice speed there, Wally, he also demonstrated some nice play action ability, which he did on the very first play of the ball game. Again, Pioneers go with the stacked eye, double tight end formation with Andy Schroeder and Jeff Scott. Redinger hands off to the second back, and hit was Curtis Helm in the backfield, and he didn't get there. He lost a yard. Chad Griffin was there along with Justin Mills for Lorain Admiral King.
I think they're in that territory. They're going to go for it.
Back where they spot that football, it will be a loss of about 2. 4th and a long, 2 short 3. Pioneers have to get to the Lorain Admiral King 25-yard line. Ken Geddes now in the game for Elyria High. Splits to the right. Backs are split behind Nick Redinger. Big 4th down play here. Redinger play action, rolling to the right. Steps, looks, throws, passes tipped and incomplete. Patrick Wooten made the tip for Lorain Admiral King, knocking the ball away. And so the Admiral defense stiffens, and the Admirals will take over first down and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Let's head to the Admiral sideline and Gary Pelter. Pelt.
Tim, I'll tell you what, a couple plays ago, Terry King was very displeased, to say the least, about his defense's effort and being able to tackle and wrap up in the backfield, but they come up with a couple of big defensive plays there. Turn the Pioneers away from a golden opportunity to get up early in the ballgame. Now going back on offense are the Admirals.
They have it first down and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Again, Mike Tokarczyk is the Admiral quarterback. David Peoples deep in the eye. Tokarczyk, quick hitter, throws, passes, dropped at the 34-yard line. Sean Smith, who had split to the right, was slipping down, couldn't quite hold on to the football. Let's set that Pioneer 4-3 defense for you. Tim Bradley and Chris Heathcote are the tackles. Zach Welton and Curtis Helm, the defensive ends. Jeff Scott, the inside linebacker, with Yvonne Miracle and Jason Fennick on the outside. Andy Dickin, Nick Redinger, Jim Onderko, and Tony Hendon are the defensive backs. Chad Hooser will also see some action in the defensive line for Elyria High. Second down and 10 from the 27-yard line. Sean Smith again split to the right. I formation behind Tokarczyk. Handoff Peoples. Fumble on the play, and the Pioneers come up with it at the 26-yard line.
I thought he had the handoff cleanly. He just dropped it.
Making the recovery for the Elyria High Pioneers was Jeff Scott. So Elyria gets it on the Admiral turnover. First down and 10 for the Pioneers at the Lorain Admiral King 26-yard line. 8:01 to go in the first quarter of play. Pioneers with a huge break. Let's see if they can capitalize. Ken Geddes splits to the right. Redinger hands off to Dickin. Dickin around the left end, and he gets down inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line of Lorain Admiral King. Nice gain of about 7. David Peoples was there for Lorain Admiral King defensively. Admiral's in a 5-2 defense. Chad Griffin is the nose guard. Kurt Wilhelm and Deshaun Ty are the tackles. Frank Solosi and Corey Fleming the defensive ends. Jason Anderson will also see action at an end spot. David Peoples and Justin Mills are the linebackers. Joe Nazario, Tim Lee, David Rivera, and James Branson the defensive backs. Although others will see action in the secondary for Lorain Admiral King. Redinger on second down. Looks, throws complete, and inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line is Andy Schroeder. And Schroeder picks up the first down for the Pioneers as the ball will be spotted just inside the 10 at about the 9. David Rivera knocked him out of bounds for Lorain Admiral King. Well, they put the ball right on the 10-yard line. Still, it's a 1st and goal for Elyria as they cannot pick up a first down. 1st and goal with 7:17 to go in the opening quarter. Stacked I formation behind Nick Redinger, the senior quarterback. Dickin is the deep back in the I, and flags fly.
Pioneers jumped again
as the Pioneers get set to run the play. That last WEOL sideline report from Gary Pelter here on the near side was brought to you by Quickway Auto Wash at 144 East Bridge Street next to Spitzer in Elyria. Quickway Auto Wash, Wally, for a car so clean,
you know
it sparkles in the dark.
Elyria's done a great job so far mixing the pass and the run. They've run 6 plays from scrimmage officially, 3 runs, 3 passes. They've got Lorain Admiral King back on their heels a little bit.
Don't forget, after the ball game tonight, Eric Kinder and Mark Ritchie are standing by back at the WEOL studios to bring you the Burger King Scoreboard Show. After tonight, we will be halfway through the regular season. Well, that's hard to believe.
Flies by.
1st and goal from the 15. Redinger play action, rolling to the left. Looks, throws, and the pass is incomplete at the 7-yard line. He was looking for Geddes. Terrific coverage there by David Rivera for Lorain Admiral King.
And throughout the course of our broadcast, we'll be getting updates, should be, from Avon Lake as the Shoremen play host to Westlake. Battle of undefeated teams. Our Mark Williams is there, and Eric Kinder will keep us posted on that.
And if Mark Williams doesn't call, Tony Reeser will. We've got 2 guys calling and score from Avon Lake. Tony said he'll be glad to call in the scores. 2nd down and goal now from the 15-yard line. Again, stacked I formation behind Redinger. Redinger again, play action, sets, throws complete to the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown is Jason Fennick. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Nick Redinger to Jason Fennick, and the Pioneers lead it 6-0 with 7:02 to go in the opening quarter. For Redinger, that's his 3rd touchdown pass of the season, and for Jason Fennick, that's his 3rd touchdown of the campaign.
He threw that ball so softly into Fennick, it was as if he just placed it in his hands. A beautiful touch on the football, led him just perfectly, and Fennick's momentum carried him in.
And now for Elyria High, Gary Burke will attempt the extra point. Pioneers use that huddled to the left, then all jog over to the football. Kick is up, and it is no good. Missed to the left. But Elyria High, with 7:02 to go in the opening quarter, lead it 6-0 over Lorain Admiral King in our Colemeyer Sports Gridiron Clash. Gary Burke with a real short kickoff for Elyria High. It bounces at about the 46-yard line of Lorain Admiral King, and one of the Admiral upmen simply falls on the football at about the 43. I don't think that was an onside kick. I think he just flat out missed the football.
Like he hit the top half of it, it just squirted around the ground to his left.
So Lorain Admiral King with great field position. Let's see if they can bounce back, trailing 6-0 with exactly 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Admirals have not been able to do much offensively. I formation behind Tokarczyk. Pitch goes to Peoples, and Peoples is hit and dropped in the backfield all the way back at the 39-yard line. Loss of about 4 on that play. We'll set up a 2nd down and 14. So the Pioneers have come out defensively and really stifled Lorain Admiral King so far. Wally, Tim Gebhardt from the Chronicle Telegram, Pioneer beat writer, tells us that's the first extra point that Gary Burke has missed all year long for Elyria. Tokarczyk on 2nd down, play action, looks, throws, complete to his tight end, out to the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Actually, it's Justin Mills out of the backfield for Lorain Admiral King. Mills with a nice gain to the 47 before Jeff Scott brought him down.
Well, hopefully that'll be the last one he'll miss all year, but when he misses, he really misses because he hooked the heck out of that thing. It wasn't even close. I couldn't tell if the snap was bad. Maybe the hold wasn't quite right. That may have affected Burke's attempt there.
It's now 3rd down and 7 as they got some of that yardage back after the penalty. Sean Smith goes wide to the right. The ball is at the left hash mark. Lorain Admiral King right to left on your radio dial here in the first quarter of play. Tokarczyk, fake draw, rolling to the right, now steps up away from pressure, looks, throws, and nobody there at the Pioneer 40-yard line. He was looking for Frank Solosi. Solosi was about 7 yards away from the football.
Sean Smith tried to come back for it, but it was well short of him. Had it been up in the air a few more yards, Smith may have had a chance to come back on it. So Justin Mills, for the 2nd time tonight, will punt the football away for Lorain Admiral King. So 3 possessions for the Admirals. It's been 3 and out, a fumble, and now 3 and out. They have 9 yards, Tim, total.
Justin Mills standing at his own 33-yard line. Good snap. Mills gets the kick away. High end-over-end kick. And it glances off the fingers of the return man, Redinger. Redinger now downs the ball at the 2-yard line. Redinger had the ball glance right off his fingers and continue rolling behind him. And all Redinger could do at that point was to go back and simply down the football.
Can't tell if he misjudged that. That ball carried a little bit farther, obviously, than he thought it was going to go. No wind at all. It's really calm. I don't think he went down intentionally to get the ball, but he had to scoop over or tried to bend over to scoop it up, and in his effort to, he slipped, and that was it. Once your knee is down, you're down in high school ball.
So it's 1st down and 10 for Elyria. They'll spot the ball at the 4-yard line. Stacked eye behind Redinger. 2nd back through in a huge hole right up the middle, out over the 20, battling to the 25 to the 26-yard line is Jason Fennick.
Well, that got him out of a hole in a hurry.
So a big gain for Elyria High, gets them out of the shadows of their own goalposts. And with 5:17 to go in the opening quarter, the Pioneers have some breathing room. 1st down and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Elyria High leading 6-0 earlier this quarter. Jason Fennick hauled in a 15-yard touchdown pass from Nick Redinger. Extra point attempt was missed, but Elyria High with a 6-0 lead. Dickin now goes wide to the right. I formation behind Redinger. Redinger, quick hitter over the middle to Dickin, and it went right off his shoulder pads, incomplete at the 30-yard line. That will make it 2nd down and 10. Wally, before the night is through, we'll have to, well, the mic is open. Pop open the mic and welcome the newest member of the WEOL sports team, Rob Polinsky, who will be with Gary Pelter and Eric Kinder tomorrow night over at Newberry for Notre Dame Cathedral Latin and Elyria Catholic. To get some comments from Rob as we move along tonight. Redinger hands off right side. Lots of room out over the 35 to about the 36-yard line is Bert Stewart for Elyria. Oh, excuse me, that was Andy Dicken on the carry. Andy Dicken with a nice gain of about 9 to the 35-yard line.
I got to imagine Rob's itching to get into high school football. He's been involved with it so much down in the Norwalk area over the past number of years, and now he's able to join us, and we're glad to have him part of the team.
Welcome to AM 930.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to it. I just want to know where Newberry is.
Well, Wally's supposed to give you the directions.
I've got directions.
Redinger handoff right up the middle. Fennick out over the 45, and he barrels his way to about the 48-yard line. Well, the Pioneers have found a couple of gaping holes in that Lorain Admiral King defense. And in a drive that started at their own 4-yard line, they've now moved it all the way out to the 48.
It's Fennick who's finding those holes after the big guys up front make the holes. They're beating the Lorain Admiral King frontline defense off the ball.
First down and 10 for Elyria High. They're at their own 48-yard line. Redinger gives it to Dicken, left side, cuts it back up the middle. He's to the 40 of Lorain Admiral King to the 35, dragging tacklers inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Andy Dicken showing some very nice quickness as he cut it right back up the middle, and he had a Lorain Admiral King tackler just hanging onto the shoulder pad for dear life, and he finally collared him at the 29-yard line.
Well, it's all been Pioneers early on. 6 first downs.
And in fact, Lorain Admiral King says it's been so much Pioneers, we're going to take a timeout. As will we. 3:37 to go, first quarter, 6-0 Elyria High. In our coal miners. Off the timeout, Elyria High goes back to the ground, and again they rip off a nice gain. I'm not sure who the carrier was on that play for the Pioneers, jogging back to the huddle. And now out of the ball game, Kurt Kershaw. Kershaw with a gain of about 6 to the Lorain Admiral King 23-yard line. Second down and 4. Split backfield now behind Nick Redinger. Jim Onderko split wide to the right. Redinger rolling to the right. He's going to keep the football, cuts it back up the middle, and fights his way down to about the 16-yard line, and that'll be more than enough for another Pioneer first down.
Made it a couple of ball fakes that time to a man into the line of scrimmage, and then a man deeper in the backfield, just kind of one-handed it, kept it in that one hand, and just about a bootleg almost, you might want to call it.
Wally and Gary Pelter once again this evening. A real pleasure for AM 930 to be the audio voice for WLCS TV, Lorain City Schools cable station. They'll have the ball game all next week on Channel 61. My good friend Bob Quinlan handling the camera duties to our left. Pioneers decide to take timeout, so we'll take a break. 2:33 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0 Elyria. First and 10 from the 16-yard line. Handoff goes to Andy Dicken, and he's dragged down in the backfield. Nice play by Frank Solosi for Lorain Admiral King as he reached up and simply grabbed Dicken by the shoulder and yanked him down for a loss of about 1 or 2 yards on the play.
One of the few negative plays the Pioneers have had all night long. Dicken with 5 carries, 34 yards. Fennick, 2 carries, 32 yards. Of course, that 1 reception for the touchdown of 15. Curtis Hulp, carry for -1. Kurt Kershaw, 2 for 15 yards. And quarterback Nick Redinger, 2 carries, 13 yards.
Elyria now goes to a double tight end stacked I formation behind Redinger. Redinger fake handoff, rolling to the left, lobs it into the end zone, and he overthrew Geddes. In on coverage was Sean Smith for Lorain Admiral King. He was looking for Ken Geddes, his 6'4" junior, right at the goal line. Well, that's a nice target when you're 6'4" tall. In fact, I'm sure John Cernas, Elyria High's new head basketball coach, is going, 6'4", good leaping ability. Wonder if we'll see him on the Pioneer hardwood this winter, Wally. And Rob.
Very good chance.
And Gary. We got more guys sports-wise than sometimes we know what to do with, and now we just add more experience to the staff.
Well, even though he's not here, of course, Eric back on the board, too.
Yep.
See him on the hardwood.
Absolutely. Third down now, and 11 to go for Elyria High at the 18-yard line. Redinger back to pass, in the pocket, looks, throws, nice leaping catch. Knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line is Dicken.
A late flag thrown in from the official that was standing in the end zone.
B.J. Lottie was there defensively for Lorain Admiral King.
Penalties against Elyria.
And Dickin is shaken up here on the near side. He really got crunched at the 11-yard line. And
offensive interference, pass interference call against Elyria. Well, they've got 4th down on the board.
Rob Polinsky shaking his head yes. And now Elyria High decides to take a timeout. That's unbelievable. You got all that time while Andy Dickin is down to talk things over, and now Elyria High decides, well, we still don't know what we want to do here, so they take a timeout.
Maybe they weren't sure it was a loss.
33-yard line. Redinger back to pass, looking to set up the screen, now rolling to the left, feeling heat from behind, looks, throws in the middle of the field, passes tipped and incomplete, and we've got flags all over the place here on the near side.
I think those were against the Pioneers too.
Could be a hold, perhaps an illegal man drifted downfield.
Very easily because of his long scramble. So they'll decline these penalties and take the ball.
That play initially looked as though it was designed to be a screen pass, as Elyria High basically let Lorain Admiral King come in on a heavy rush.
Offsetting penalties.
And then Redinger rolled to the left, looked downfield, and the pass was tipped incomplete. I saw the illegal man downfield against Elyria. What was the penalty against Lorain Admiral King?
Interference.
Interference.
By the way, Rob, you're more than welcome just to pipe in here anytime you want.
I just did.
Okay, there you go. So we'll do it all over again. 4th and 23 for Elyria High. They're at the Lorain Admiral King 33-yard line with 1:33 to go in the opening quarter.
I'll tell the Admirals, for their sake, they can't let them convert this.
Pioneers left to right on your radio dial. Redinger again back to pass, rolling to the left, sets, guns it over the middle, and the pass is dropped at the 20-yard line. Would have been far short of the first down, but it bounced right off the hands and the shoulder pads of wide receiver for Elyria.
Well, he's got number 8, got the same number as your quarterback.
It did look like an 8. Either that or it was number 2, Ken Geddes. We'll have to see if Bob Quinlan can zoom in on that. Was he wearing number 8?
I thought it was Geddes.
I think it was Geddes, though. That can't be. How can you have 2 guys out there with the same number? Anyway, Lorain Admiral King takes over on downs. 1st down and 10. Handoff goes to the up man, and there isn't any room. Jeff Scott, the tough inside linebacker for Lorain Admiral King, drops Justin Mills right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Well, their defense has been rock solid.
Gary Pelter, did you get a number check down there?
I'll tell you what, I'll take a look into that and check into it in the second quarter when I go over to the Elyria sidelines. The Admiral King sidelines very quiet, even though they finally came up with a big defensive play after they led Elyria out of the shadows of their own goalpost, take it down into King territory. It's very quiet over here on the Admiral King sidelines. 2nd down and 10. Tokarczyk looks, throws, pass, tipped, and caught at the 45-yard line as it went off the hands of Smith.
No, Smith caught it.
Well, I was going to say it went off his hands, then he got it back. The pass was originally tipped. It bounced around, came right back to Smith at the 45-yard line, and Lorain Admiral King with their first down of the football game.
They'll take it any way they can get it.
We're under 40 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and the Admirals with a 1st down and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Elyria leading 6-0. Jason Fennick with a 15-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Nick Redinger. Handoff Mills, he blasts up the middle and moves the pile for perhaps 2 or 3 yards to about the 48-yard line, and that will be the final play of the 1st quarter. 12 minutes are in the book here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. 6-0. Elyria over Lorain Admiral King, and the Colemeyer Sports consecutive losses to 2nd and 7 for Lorain Admiral King at their own 48-yard line. Tokarczyk hands off to Peoples. Peoples following a block, spun down at about the 48-yard line. Jason Fennick, senior outside linebacker for the Pioneers, grabbed him by the ankles and brought him down.
Tim, David Peoples is a good running back. We've seen him have real good games, but in the 2 games that we've broadcast this year so far over at Avon Lake and tonight, we've yet to see him break one.
I think, Wally, that was one of his first carries for positive yardage, I believe.
You're right. He hasn't had many. That was his 5th carry for 5 yards. He's had 1 yard, 2 yards, no yards, -5, and 3 yards.
Joe Nazario and Patrick Wooten both split wide to the left for Lorain Admiral King. I formation behind Tokarczyk. Option play, pitches it to Peoples. Ball dropped in the backfield, then Peoples has hit and dropped at the 46-yard line.
Well, Tokarczyk threw it behind him, pitched it behind him, but he was hit before he did.
Tim Bradley was there for Elyria High defensively.
Got to give him some protection.
I think on that one, guys, you got to credit the Elyria High defensive line and their penetration, getting inside there and throwing off the timing of the play.
So Justin Mills again will punt for Lorain Admiral King, standing at his own 35-yard line. Kershaw back deep for Elyria. Man, now Lorain Admiral King shifts out. Snap to Mills, but he gets the kick away. High end-over-end kick. Kershaw fields it at the 20-yard line. Kershaw hit and dropped at the 24. So Elyria High has it, first down and 10. B.J. Lottie was there for Lorain Admiral King. Receiver for Elyria High. He is wearing number 2, by the way. They don't have 2 number 8s out there. We were checking during the timeout, but boy, that 2 looks an awful lot like an 8. Handoff, and coming up the middle, fighting for yardage again is Dickin. Dickin to about the 31-yard line, but there are flags on the play here on the near side and also way over on the far side.
Geddes, number 2 on his uniform, is closed up almost. The round part that loops down is almost down to the bottom part of the 2, and the part on the bottom goes up high. It does look like an 8.
That last sideline report from Gary Pelter, who this quarter is on the Elyria High side, was brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Center in Lorain. They love feet at the Ankle and Foot Center. Call 246-1200. Had a chance to stop in there today, Wally. Saw my good friend Ruth, and Dr. Waddell. Great people at the Ankle and Foot Center.
You're not having trouble with your feet, are you?
No.
Okay.
Just stopped
That
in.
was a business move.
Just stopped in to say hello.
Oh, just paying a visit.
You know, Monday night, you make fun of my fingers.
The friendly Tim Alcorn.
You make fun of my fingers.
I did
Monday
not make fun of your fingers.
And now tonight, you're going to start ragging on my feet.
I brought up an accident I had, then you show your hand.
First down and 20 now. Ball all the way back at the 12-yard line. Redinger first, back through is Fennick. Lots of room. Fennick just dragging tacklers all the way out to the 39-yard line. A huge 27-yard pickup for Jason Fennick, the 210 senior fullback.
You know, Tim, on that, Sean Smith tried to just take the ball away, and it gave him about an extra 10 yards. Instead of making a tackle, Smith was trying to steal the ball.
I think Lorain Admiral King is so set on keen on the deep back in that stacked eye that when Elyria just gives it on the quick hitter to either one of the 2 up backs, it catches Lorain Admiral King defensively totally off guard. First down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Second back through is Curtis Helm, and Helm to about the 41 before he's pushed back. Kurt Wilhelm was there for Lorain Admiral King. Wally, you mentioned during the Krystowski Tractor football forecast the interesting note about Kurt Wilhelm and Matt Wilhelm of Elyria Catholic. Kurt of Lorain Admiral King, brothers playing for opposite teams.
Their mom gave me a call this morning and made us aware of that. And I don't think it's ever happened in the history of WEOL that we've had 2 brothers playing for 2 different teams broadcast on 2 separate nights back-to-back.
Second down and 8 from the 41-yard line. Handoff to Fennick, and he's hit and dropped immediately at the 41-yard line. Patrick Wooten was there for Lorain Admiral King, also Kurt Wilhelm. So it's now third down and 8. So the Admiral defense has stiffened on the last 2 running plays for Elyria High. Pioneers leading 6-0 as we approach the 9-minute mark here in the second quarter of play. Only scorer in the ball game, Nick Redinger, tossed a 15-yard scoring pass to Jason Fennick with 7:02 to go in the opening quarter. 3rd and 7 now. I formation behind Redinger. Redinger straight drop back in the pocket, plenty of time, throws it towards the right sideline. Pass knocked down by Wooten right at the midfield stripe. The pass was intended for Andy Dickin. Wooten with a nice defensive play for Lorain Admiral King. So after a big pickup by Ken Fennick, Elyria High sees their drive stall at their own 41-yard line. And Redinger will now punt it away for Elyria, standing at his own 29-yard line. Wooten, along with Sean Smith, back deep for Admiral King, each standing at the 25-yard line. Redinger gets the kick away, spiraling kick, and it is dropped, still on the ground, and recovered at the 30-yard line. Making the recovery, Tim Lee for Admiral King. That was almost disastrous as Patrick Wooten came running up to make the catch. That's the play that Gary Pelter wants to see those receivers make. Unfortunately, the ball popped right out of his midsection, but Lee was there for Lorain Admiral King to save the day.
Tim, we've definitely seen some miscues on punt catches this evening, a couple of them. And that one, it appeared that the Elyria defender had an opportunity to get the ball, but he chose to tackle Wooten on that.
First down and 10 for Lorain Admiral King at their own 30-yard line. They trail 6-0. Tokarczyk hands off to Peoples, left side, and this time he's got some room over the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Nice gain for David Peoples. In on the stop for Elyria High was Anthony Quinn. Nice to hear Jim Allen's voice over here at George Daniel Field in Lorain as he serves as the public address announcer. Of course, Jim heard 3 times daily right here on AM 930 WEOL.
We'll have to ask Jim how long he's been doing it. I know it's been a long time.
Oh, he's probably one of the longest in the area, and I'm sure he'll be the first to tell you that. Tokarczyk hands off to Peoples, and he's hit and dropped at the 35-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play. Curtis Helm in on the tackle for Elyria High.
Again, the Elyria front beating the Admiral King front, not only offensively, defensively too.
If you heard Terry King in the State Farm Insurance pregame show, the very last comment he made was, this is a must-win for our team and our program. He feels as though if they can win tonight, it could bolster this program and the rest of the season. But if they lose, it could be a long second half for Lorain Admiral King.
Those are 2 big ifs.
Tokarczyk hands off to Wooten on a misdirection play. Wooten fights his way over the 40 to about the 41-yard line and picks up a first down for Lorain Admiral King. They had lined up Patrick Wooten in a wing right, and Tokarczyk faked the handoff up the middle and then gave it to Wooten coming around on a misdirection, and Wooten fought his way to about the 41, and that's enough for Lorain Admiral King first down.
Nice play. We have an Elyria player down on his back at the 40-yard line.
So we'll take a break. 7:09 to go in the first half of play. He owned 41-yard line. Justin Mills and David Peoples behind Mike Tokarczyk. I formation. Wooten now in a wing left. Handoff Peoples. Tries the middle, and there isn't much room there. A whole swarm of white jerseys throws Peoples down at about the 42-yard line. Gary, I didn't get a number check on the injured Pioneer player. Obviously, must have been okay.
Well, he got up, got off the field under his own power. I'm going to check over on the sidelines and see what the story is. It appears that Admiral King has finally put together some offense here, getting a little bit more consistent. The Elyria defensive people over here were yelling for that counter. They knew it was coming, but Admiral King just executed.
Handoff Peoples left side, gets a nice little crease and streaks his way out over the 45 to about the 47-yard line. We'll set up 3rd down and 4 for Lorain Admiral King.
For all of his work so far tonight, David Peoples, 10 carries, 11 yards.
Well, they're doing everything they can to establish David Peoples. 3rd down and about 4. Boy, what a perfect night for football here in Lorain. I formation behind Mike Tokarczyk. Rivera in a wing left. Handoff Peoples right side. Sheds one tackler. Doesn't shed the second. Down he goes at the 47-yard line. Scott made the tackle, but Peoples was hit behind the line of scrimmage. That slowed him down enough for Jeff Scott to come up and finish him off.
Tim, you mentioned a nice night. It's a little getting cool now, and just to touch on that cool side, however, we're a lot warmer here than you'd be about 10 miles inland. That lake at 68 degrees makes it nice and comfortable.
Is that an official report? Does that have the AMS seal of approval?
I'll tell you, it's 5 degrees cooler in Elyria right now.
Justin Mills with the punt. High spiraling kick. Beautiful kick. Fielded at the 20-yard line, and Kershaw just gets blasted at about the 24. Down he goes.
Good punt.
And also a terrific hit for Lorain Admiral King. Patrick Wooten came down and really put a pop on Kershaw. Actually, that may have been Brian Herbert, excuse me. 92, not 32.
Other than that one fumble, Tim, by Lorain Admiral King deep in their own territory, and Elyria's drive of 26 yards on their second possession, it's been back and forth, and no one's getting on the board.
Backs offset behind Nick Redinger now. Pioneer quarterback, hands off Dickin right side, tries the short side of the field, and there isn't much room over there. Brought down at the 25-yard line, gain of 1. Justin Mills was there for Lorain Admiral King, 2nd down and 9. That last WEOL sideline update from Gary Pelter was brought to you by Quickway Auto Wash at 144 East Bridge Street next to Spitzer in Elyria. Also had the pleasure to go there today, Wally. I was all over the county. But Chris wasn't in today.
What a life you guys lead in that sales department. My, oh my.
Yeah. You can have it. 2nd down and 9 from the 25. Handoff, man. Kershaw looking for room. Not much of it. 3 or 4 blue jerseys. Pile them up at the 29-yard line. Patrick Wooten was there, as was Justin Mills. Kurt Wilhelm also in on the stop. Yeah, you got that cushy overnight job. Just sitting there at about 2 in the morning. Drinking your Diet Pepsi.
When I get there, I don't know how many nights a week it is that, well, last night running back from the Indians game, I got there at 11:57, speeding all the way.
Hey, watch it now. Don't be confessing to things on the air. Redinger back to pass, looks, throws, tipped away just at the last minute. Outstanding play by Sean Smith. If Smith doesn't tip it, Andy Schroeder catches the ball at about the midfield stripe and runs 50 yards for another Pioneer touchdown.
I'll tell you, Redinger is accurate with his passing.
So it's now 4th down for Elyria High, and Redinger will kick the football. Left-handed quarterback, right-handed or right-footed kicker for the Pioneers. Standing at his own 15. Boy, Lorain Admiral King running people in and out of there on punt coverage. Redinger with the fake. Looks, throws, wide open is Dickin, and hold everything.
He went down to the knee to get the snap. Oh, the play would have worked perfectly. He had to go to his knee to get it.
So Redinger will be whistled down at the 17-yard line. What a monumental break for Lorain Admiral King.
Oh, he just barely touched it. Matter of fact, if it weren't for that flag, I'm not sure I saw that exactly.
And we've also got a personal foul call against Lorain Admiral King.
I'll tell you what, down here, you're absolutely correct, Wally. It didn't look as if his knee had touched the ground. It may have. There was an official right there on the spot. But I'll tell you what, number 85 for Admiral King came in. He didn't really hear the whistle or pay attention to it, and he knocked Redinger down, and they threw the flag.
So does that make it an automatic first down, or do they have to, well, from the point of infraction, march it off and see if it is? I think that personal foul is automatic. Yes, it is.
Yep. They changed the down marker, so
they get their first down anyway.
They get the first down
when
anyway.
It could have been a disaster.
No, it's first down King. It's a, I think what they're saying, it's a post possession.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
once 15 yards back, so King gets it.
It was 4th down, so once Redinger's knee went down, that gave the ball back to Lorain Admiral King, where Redinger's knee went down. Then the personal foul was marched off against Lorain Admiral King. So still, Lorain Admiral King ends up with great position. First down and 10 at the 32-yard line. We're down to 3:29 to go in the first half. Admirals trailing 6-0. Tokarczyk looks, throws, pass complete to Sean Smith on the left side, and he's quickly thrown out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
Well, it's hindsight now, but does that fake punt surprise you deep in territory like that? I mean, it would have worked.
Well, certainly Dickin was wide open.
Right.
There wasn't anybody near Andy Dickin.
Can't say it was a bad call, but that's why maybe coaches are reluctant to fake that deep, because something like that goes wrong, and now you're in trouble. It's as deep as the Admirals have been all night.
2nd and 7 from the 30. Tokarczyk hands off people. He's able to break one tackle and fights for yardage inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line.
It shows Coach Maine has a heck of a lot of confidence in his defense to take that chance.
course, Redinger, the quarterback for Elyria High, so he's always a threat back there as the punter. It's now 3rd down and 2. Let's see if Lorain Admiral King can capitalize on the big break. We're down to 2:22 to go in the first half. The Admirals trailing by a touchdown, but they have it 3rd and 2 at the Pioneer 24-yard line. Mike Tokarczyk under center, Matt Waldman. Tokarczyk hands off to Peoples, left side, gets to about the 21. Ball came loose, but I think they're going to say the whistle blew.
And I think he, well, with the forward progress, should have the first down.
I think he got that first down. The Pioneer band is filing on the track on the far side of the field, and they just keep coming. If you've never seen the Pioneer marching band,
they're
I'll tell you what, it's a great show.
behind the stands.
I mean, the line looks like it's a mile long. It's like ants. They just keep coming and coming and coming, and now they're actually coming the other way, the end zone to our right.
I believe they're like 180-some members strong, at least.
I'll tell you what, down here, the Elyria High coaching staff is incensed after that call because the officials blew the whistle almost immediately as the running back was hit. The ball popped out, but they thought there should have been a fumble on the play.
David Peoples helped over to the Lorain Admiral King side, so Peoples out of the ball game right now. 1st down and 10 for Lorain Admiral King at the Elyria 21-yard line. Tokarczyk, quick drop, fires it over on the right side, right through the hands of Sean Smith, incomplete. And Sean Smith with the classic mistake right there where he tried to turn and run with the football before he had it. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 as we're just under 2 minutes to go.
Plays like that'll cost a drive and your chance to get on the scoreboard, although they do have 2 more downs and 3 if necessary.
Terry King on the near side giving a pretty stern lecture to David Peoples. I'm not sure what happened to David Peoples, but he's still here on the near side. In the meantime, Tokarczyk hands off and thrown for a loss in the backfield by Curtis Helm for Elyria High is Justin Mills, excuse me. So it's now 3rd down and 10 as we're down to 1:30 to go here in the first half. Sean Smith comes wide to the right. The ball is at the 21-yard line. I formation behind Tokarczyk. Tokarczyk sets in the pocket, looks, throws, incomplete. He was looking at the 10-yard line for Ryan Herbert, his tight end.
Sean Smith was open in the end zone.
So now it's 4th down and 10. And here comes Jason Anderson in the ball game now for Lorain Admiral King.
Who, Tim, is 41? James Williams for Lorain Admiral King?
I believe so, although it's not on the roster.
No, it's not. Okay.
And he is in at tailback.
I think he had the 1 carry on the 2nd down.
Yes, he did, for no gain. 4th and 10. The Admirals will go for it. Tokarczyk over the middle, complete to the 4-yard line. Frank Solosi, the big tight end.
That was nice.
1st down and goal for Lorain Admiral King with 1:09 to go in the 2nd quarter of play. So Tokarczyk hooks up with Solosi on a huge 4th down play. And Lorain Admiral King will now have 4 cracks at it. They actually spot the ball at the 3. And now,
clock ticking, 55 seconds.
Peoples back in the ball game at tailback. Tokarczyk under center, hands off Peoples, right side, and he blasts his way into the end zone. David Peoples with the touchdown for Lorain Admiral King, and with 45 seconds to go in the half, this game is tied at 6. So the Admirals are able to capitalize on the big break.
When you talk about turning points, when you look back on a ball game, that very well may have been it. Of course, we still have a half to play.
Like David Peoples right there ran like a man possessed. He just blasted into the Pioneer defender who was waiting for him at the goal line.
Maybe that lecture by Terry King did him some good.
With Justin Mills will now attempt the extra point. Matt Rossitano to hold. Mills' kick is up and it hits the crossbar and falls off. 45 seconds to go in the half. We are tied at 6 here at George Daniel Field in our Colemeyer Sports Gridiron Clash. Peoples with a 3-yard touchdown run, and now Peoples will kick it off for Lorain Admiral King. Ball at the left hash mark. Short kick comes to the 50-yard line. Picked up by one of the Admirals, but it had touched the foot of the Lorain Admiral King up man running downfield.
That was the man, B.J. Lottie.
Ball actually struck his foot at about the 47, so it hadn't gone the required 10 yards.
I'll tell you what, though, he did a very smart thing picking that ball up, because there was a couple of Elyria people right there, and hey, that's a live football. They can just pick it up and go if there's nobody paying any attention.
The question here is, what are the Pioneer options on that play? I guess they can take it right there. So Elyria High now with 44.9 seconds to go, as they have the tenths of a second on the clock here at George Daniel Field. Elyria with great field position. They now have the ball at the Lorain Admiral King 47-yard line.
After both touchdowns, the kickoffs have been lousy.
Wing right, split backs behind Nick Redinger. Redinger, fake handoff, gives it to the wingman coming around, and he's dropped for a loss in the backfield at the 46-yard line. In the wing was Curtis Helm, and that play was read perfectly by Patrick Wooten for Lorain Admiral King.
And the clock winds down. Now they're going to call timeout.
Pioneers take a timeout. We'll take a break. Welcome back to George Daniel Field. Redinger back to pass, hangs it deep down the right side, looking for Geddes, and he overthrew him at the 25-yard line. Geddes ran right over B.J. Lottie for Lorain Admiral King, and then Geddes turns around and says, hey, where's the flag? As he ran right over Lottie. Geddes at 6'4", Lottie at 5'10". That was like Mutt and Jeff right there.
Well, Tim, I'll tell you what, during that last time out, Coach Darrell Main went up to Geddes and he asked him, he said, well, can you beat him? And he said, yeah, I can beat him deep. Well, maybe under normal game conditions he could, but right now the Admirals had everybody backed up as deep. There's guys back here 35 yards off the ball.
They're back to Lake Erie.
Handoff, Fennick right up the middle, and the big fullback blasts his way into Admiral King territory. Still fighting for yardage, and they finally bring him down at the 40-yard line.
Nice run.
Gain of about 13, but we're down to 5 seconds to go in the half. 4-3. I don't think the Pioneers are going to get a playoff. They won't. So that will close out the first half of play here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. It's been a good 2 quarters of football. And after 24 minutes, Lorain Admiral King and the Elyria High Pioneers are tied at 6. And we'll be back to bring you the Center Road Nursery and Farms halftime report. again, a short kick. Bounces
may
at
get
the
it.
35, and it's recovered by Lorain Admiral King. Sean Smith went down and scooped up the football at the 36-yard line. Woo, boy. Peoples just pooched that ball right in between the Elyria High up men and the deep men, and it simply bounced into the waiting arms of Sean Smith.
That was planned. Maybe that's why Terry was out there with his special team so long. This is how you do it. This is how you got to do it.
So let's see if the Admirals can capitalize. First down and 10. They have it at the Pioneer 36-yard line. Tokarczyk hands off to Peoples, left side. Peoples fighting for yardage to the 31-yard line. Gain of about 5.
Tim, I talked to Coach Gary Huff down here. I asked him, I said, was that planned? Because sometimes you see on the films that their special teams players will leave early, not even watch where the kick was. He said, no, they just didn't know David couldn't kick the ball.
Okay, well, you take your break any way you can get it. Turns out tremendously for Lorain Admiral King. And Peoples with a nice gain of 4. Second down and 6. Tokarczyk, quick drop, fires right side, complete to Smith. Falls down at the 24-yard line, but that'll be enough for Lorain Admiral King first down. Well, you can see the Admirals are now brimming with confidence. The late score to close out the first half. They recover the kick to start the second, and they pick up a quick first down off a run by Peoples, and now the completion from Tokarczyk to Sean Smith. First down and 10 for Lorain Admiral King. They're at the Pioneer 24-yard line. The game is tied at 6. Tokarczyk hands off to Mills, and Mills doesn't get much as he runs right into Curtis Helm at the 23-yard line. Also there was Jason Fennick for the Pioneers. Again for Lorain Admiral King up front, Matt Waldron is the center, Corey Fleming, Chad Griffin the guards, Big D. Sean Tye, the 300-pound senior at right tackle, John Graver the left tackle, Frank Solosi and Brian Herbert have both seen action at tight end. In fact, at times the Admirals have gone to a double tight end set. Here they split Smith to the right, the short side of the field, I formation. Tokarczyk pump fake, hangs it deep down the right side, and he overthrew Smith as he tried to catch up with the football at the pylon.
Too deep.
So that'll now make it third down and 9. Ball is at the 23-yard line. 10:21 to go in the third quarter. Lorain Admiral King and Elyria High are tied at 6, but the Admirals trying to capitalize on a big break early on in the third quarter.
If they don't get a first down here, if it's an incomplete pass, you're looking at a 40-yard field goal attempt, and that's probably out of the range.
Ball at the right hash mark. Fake handoff to Peoples. And Tokarczyk is sacked all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Well, make it even more than that now.
Coming in and making the hit was Zach Welton for the Pioneers. So after picking up a first down, the Admirals can't capitalize. And the ball is now at the 30. They have to get to the 14, so it's 4th and 16.
Well, all the offensive skilled players are still in there. They're going to go for it.
Oh, yeah, they wanted to go for it. They came off and they said they want to go for it. Might look for Solosi over the middle again.
Smith wide to the left, and now
They jump.
the left guard for Lorain Admiral King lifted up. That was Corey Fleming. So that'll push it back to the 35-yard line, and now Terry King says, let's get the punting unit out there.
Try and pin him back. Just pop one down there.
We are tied at 6, 9:39 to go in the third quarter. Justin Mills handles the punting duties for Lorain Admiral King. And he'll take a few steps back and set up at the 48-yard line. Redinger at his own 10 for Elyria. Short snap. Smith tries to fall on it, and down he goes at the 43-yard line.
Boy, those last 3 plays, nothing but mistakes.
So Lorain Admiral King had a golden opportunity, and Sean Smith, after receiving the short snap, was simply buried at the 43. So the Pioneers not only dodge a bullet, they actually end up with great field position at their own 43, first down and 10. Boy, that was a strange sequence of plays right there.
And Terry King was absolutely livid. I'm not. He was not happy.
Redinger hands off, left side, lots of room for Kershaw to the midfield stripe, and he's dropped at the Lorain Admiral King 48-yard line by B.J. Lottie. But still, Kershaw with a gain of about 9.
You talk about momentum now.
But you can wipe that. Well,
yeah.
The official almost called the penalty against Lorain Admiral King, but it is a clipping call against Elyria High. Again for the Pioneers, Nick Redinger is the quarterback, 6'1" senior, coming into tonight, completing 42% of his passes. Does have a touchdown toss this evening, his 3rd of the year. Dickin behind him in the backfield, along with Kurt Kershaw. We've seen Jason Fennick and Curtis Helm back there as well.
Take away that 8-yard gain for Kershaw.
And the ball all the way back now to the 31-yard line. So it'll be 1st and about 25 for Elyria High. Again, double tight, stacked eye behind Nick Redinger. Chris Carey, the center, hands off to Redinger. Redinger back to pass. Here comes the heat. The pass is tipped and incomplete at the 31-yard line. Oh my, Justin Mills had a golden opportunity for an interception and also a return for a touchdown if he could have held on to the football.
The way he hit that ball and reacted to it, it was as if he just saw it at the last second, got his hands up there, but was just too late to make any kind of reception on it.
I'll tell you what, part of the problem down here on that last punt or fake punt attempt by Admiral King was that they had half the guys thinking it was one call and half of them thinking it was another. So they were doing 2 different things down there, and that's part of the problem that Terry King was so livid about, lack of communications in their offensive huddle.
2nd and 22. Redinger hands off. Kershaw dropped right at the 30-yard line. Justin Mills came up and put him on his back. Also there was Jason Anderson for Lorain Admiral King.
Yeah, back to that play, it was almost as if the center thought it was a fake punt. The short snap to Sean Smith, but Sean Smith didn't know it was coming to him.
It's now 3rd and about a mile for Elyria High.
The way Coach King reacted, I don't think he thought it was a fake punt.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the call Terry wanted right there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Here comes Kershaw into the ball game for Elyria High. He'll line up in an I. Dickin and Geddes are split to the left on a 3rd and 22. Redinger, straight drop back, sets in the pocket. Looks,
but he's open.
Throws, and the pass is incomplete. Smith tried to come up and make a diving interception at the 48-yard line. Andy Dickin was well covered for Elyria.
Lorain Admiral King's defensive backfield's done a better job in getting on these intended receivers. They haven't really been open.
Boy, can Smith cover a lot of ground?
He is quick. And now he goes back to receive the punt along with Patrick Wooten for Lorain Admiral King. Nick Redinger will kick it away. 8:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. We are tied at 6 here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. Redinger at his own 18-yard line. Good snap to Nick. Gets the kick away. High end over end kick. Smith has it at the 38-yard line, gets to the 40, cuts up the middle to the 45, and dropped at about the 47-yard line. Lorain Admiral King, 1st down and 10. Again, good field position for the Admirals at their own 47. We are tied at 6. Elyria High with a touchdown in the 1st quarter. Fennick called in a 15-yard pass. Admiral King comes wide to the right. Wooten in a slot right. I formation behind Mike Tokarczyk. Movement in the offensive line. Pioneers get back. Tokarczyk fake handoff, rolling to the right. Looking. Throws over the middle. Complete to Solosi. Solosi with the catch to the 30 to the 25. And he drags tacklers to about the 23. Redinger brought him down, but not before big Frank Solosi with another huge catch for Lorain Admiral King. And they're right back in business deep in Pioneer territory.
Heck of a catch. He did that all with his hands reaching up. He didn't really use his body at all. You got to have good hands to hold on to a ball like that.
He's made 2 of the biggest plays for King offensively tonight.
Now in the ball game for Lorain Admiral King, James Branson goes wide to the left with Wooten split out there with him. Ball at the right hash mark. Handoff Mills. Mills tries the middle, carries a couple of tacklers for about 2 yards to the 22-yard line. Curtis Helm was there for Elyria. Again, Helm and Zach Welton are the defensive ends with Tim Bradley Chris Heathcote and Chad Hooser seeing action at tackle. Jeff Scott, the inside linebacker, with Yvonne Miracle and Jason Fennick on the outside. Tony Hendon, Jim Onderko, Nick Redinger, and Andy Dickin are the defensive backs. 2nd down and 7 as we wind our way to the 7-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Nazario and Wooten wide to the left. Tokarczyk, quick drop, looks, throws, and the pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. One thing about Admiral King's passing attack, Wally and Rob and Gary, Tokarczyk basically takes that 2-step drop and then just tries to fire that quick hitter. And if you're the Elyria High defensive lineman, if you get your hands up like they did right there, you've got an excellent shot at knocking those passes down.
Yeah, that time it was as if he didn't even take the 2 steps back. He was so very close to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 7 from the 21-yard line. Ball at the right hash mark. Peoples, the deep back in the eye. Tokarczyk, long signal count, fake handoff to Peoples. Tokarczyk rolling left. Here comes the heat, and down he goes at the 31-yard line.
Well, maybe that's why he does that 2-step drop.
Jason Fennick with the sack for Elyria High. Well, obviously, Lorain Admiral King can't have a whole lot of confidence in their offensive line, or at least as far as pass blocking is concerned, because it's either that quick drop and get it away, or rolling Tokarczyk right or left to try to buy him some more time.
Looks like we have the same situation we just had a few minutes ago. Let's see if they do pooch.
Same point on the field.
Ball at the 31-yard line. 4th down and 16. Justin Mills is deep. Mills at his own 45-yard line. And again, they tried the short snap, but this time flags fly. And I think Admiral King took too long. Yep, delay a game. This time, Mike Tokarczyk, the quarterback, was the short man in the formation. And the ball went right to Tokarczyk. Unfortunately, it took Admiral King too long to snap the ball.
Well, they have a couple kind of different punt formations they want to run down here, and that time Tokarczyk was coming off the field. They waved him back in. They told him to get back in there for that particular punt they wanted to run. Of course, it took him a little bit too long to get it set up.
Well, Tokarczyk is now still the up man in the punt formation. But the snap goes to Mills, and he tries to pooch it. End over end kick, bounces at about the 15.
That works.
And rolls to the 10-yard line. So all in all, not bad for Lorain Admiral King as he...
They've got a good one there.
All right, thank you very much. Here, handoff goes to Fennick, and he comes all the way out to the 30-yard line. Hanging on was David Rivera. If Rivera hadn't hung on for dear life, Jason Fennick may have rumbled about 90 yards for a score.
Another quick hitter.
Instead, Fennick with 20. Wally, what's his yards per carry?
Well, 6 carries, 95 yards. So that gives us
16
a little
carry.
division.
16.
Very good.
15.9.
Right.
96.
Very good, Rob. No wonder we hired you.
These salesmen are good with the numbers.
Just put those dollar signs behind it.
1st down and 10. Again, the Pioneers try the quick hitter up the middle. This time it doesn't go anywhere. Patrick Wooten was there to stop Fennick. Oh, I'm sorry, Kurt Kershaw on that carry. Kurt Kershaw, no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. That last WEOL sideline update from Gary Pelter, with Dave Rydell standing right next to him for what reason I have no idea, was brought to you by the Ankle and Foot Center in Lorain. They love feet at the Ankle and Foot Center. Call 246-1200. Why does Dave Rydell always end up with the sideline guy?
You guys weren't giving him the attention that he needs.
Handoff, Fennick picks a hole up the middle. He's to the 40 to the 42-yard line. That's a beautiful run by Jason Fennick because there wasn't any room, and he basically just found a crease of daylight and then burst up the middle for about a 12-yard gain.
That puts him over 100 yards at 107 unofficially.
It's not hard to spot that, Dave Rydell.
I think Gary and Dave, they're ready to do some action on that offensive line.
First down and 10 now from the 42-yard line. Stacked I formation behind Redinger. Hands off to the deep back, and Dickin is stood up. Corey Fleming was there for Lorain Admiral King. Dickin may have actually lost the yard. Oh, boy. Dave, you want to come out here and do these ball games, you better be ready for it. And if Bob Quinlan zooms in on either one of you guys, you're really dead meat for the next week in the city of Lorain. There is a flag on the play.
Dave Rydell points to the flag and says, just put your mind on the ball game, Tim.
Oh, boy. Officials discussing things at about the 40-yard line. And the call will go against the Elyria High Pioneers. 3:47 to go in the third quarter. We've got a good one going on here at George Daniel Field. We're tied at 6. What was that call? What was the call they just made?
The hand behind the head.
Hey, Dave Rydell, what is that call down there?
The guy's
Dave looks like he's doing the Macarena. He doesn't know what he's doing down there. He's putting hands all over the place.
Guys over our left, medium one, they don't know. They ask.
Handoff Fennick right up the middle, and he's dragged down at the 42-yard line. Got about 6 of it back, and now we got a late flag and 2 more. We may get a late hit against Lorain Admiral King. Boy, the Pioneer coaches here in the press box wanted that. And let's see. Solosi and David Peoples are coming over to the Lorain Admiral King sideline, as is Chad Griffin.
Well, Griffin's going to stay in the game, but Solosi and Peoples are out for now.
You know, Tim, it would have been 3rd and 9 for Elyria. This will give him a first down. These are the things in a close game that you can't. You know, this could make the difference.
Also coming out is Joe Nazario, as Terry King a little unhappy with that personal foul call.
Gary, stick your head in there, and if you can hear what the official is telling Terry, because obviously defensively for Lorain Admiral King, they give up the first down, but more importantly, they may have lost not only 2 defensive starters, but 2 offensive stalwarts in Solosi and Peoples.
Well, I don't think they got kicked out of the ball game.
I'm not sure about that.
He is out of the ball game. Just get the official word from the official.
Wow. Solosi, Peoples, or both?
Peoples is out. Solosi's on the sidelines. He's got a hurt hand.
Okay, well.
So they're taking a look at him right now. I don't believe he is kicked out of the ball game. He is just on the sidelines getting medical attention.
But Peoples has been kicked out of the game. All right. In the meantime, Lorain Admiral King says we're confused defensively, so let's take a timeout. Elyria High with a first down and 10 at the Pioneer 42. 3:13 to go in the quarter. And our Colemeyer Sports Gridiron.
To him.
Yeah, we were talking about that Monday night. Redinger hands off to Dickin on a first down and 10 at the 42. Dickin escapes the tackle, tries to get outside, and finally thrown down at about the 40-yard line. By the way, Wally, during our Monday night show last Monday at the Church Street Cafe, do you remember what I said about Griffey against Oakland that night?
That's right. He said you could pop a couple. And he did.
What did he do?
Yes, he did.
So that's just to get you back a little bit for playing that Tigers tape.
That's right. Well, I didn't say you couldn't do it, but never say never.
Rob, we'll have to educate you on some of Wally's predictions. And what a soothsayer he is about the Detroit Tigers. 2nd down and 7 from the 39-yard line. Ball at the right hash mark. Hand off to the second back, and I believe Fennick. No, that's Bert Stewart now in the ball game. Bert Stewart, 200-pound sophomore, thrown back at about the 40-yard line. Kurt Wilhelm was there for Lorain Admiral King. We checked during the timeout on 2 things. Number 1, the hand behind the neck call. That's an illegal substitution. So that's what that penalty was a few plays back before the timeout. And also, David Peoples has indeed been ejected from tonight's ball game, and we believe that makes him ineligible for next week's game as well. Redinger back to pass on a 3rd and 7. Sets in the pocket. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Geddes at the 30-yard line. Geddes was coming ahead for the football, and he couldn't quite reach it to his right.
And Tim, I think maybe not only Peoples, but also maybe Nazario may have been booted, because he came out and he hasn't gone back in yet.
We see Peoples here on the near side.
Nazario's right in the middle there. He hasn't gone back in. He came out when Peoples did.
Wooten and Smith back deep as Redinger will punt on a 4th down and 7 from the 39. Low snap. Redinger went down to get it. This time his knee didn't touch. End over end kick, and it will bounce into the end zone. So Lorain Admiral King will have it 1st down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So far, it's been a score.
Inadvertent whistle down here. That's something that Terry King was livid about.
Handoff and hit and dropped at the 22-yard line is Patrick Wooten, who's now in the backfield for Lorain Admiral King, as again David Peoples has seen his night come to an end, and perhaps next Friday night as well. Now 2nd down and 7. Mike Tokarczyk still in at quarterback for Lorain Admiral King. We're down to 1:13 and the clock running. Well, Nazario is now in the ball game for Lorain Admiral King.
So he's eligible still, obviously.
He split to the left. Handoff. Tokarczyk gives it to Wooten. And he's out to about the 25-yard line. We do have a flag over on the far side of the field. That last WEOL sideline update from Gary Pelter and his able assistant Dave Rydell, brought to you by Quickway Auto Wash at 144 East Bridge Street next to Spitzer in Elyria. Does Dave feed you information, Gary? Is that how that's working over there?
Actually, I'll give Dave credit. I was down there checking on the condition of Frank Solosi right before he went back into the ball game. He had a huge gash on his arm, but they taped it up and they got him back in the ball game. And Dave alerted me to Terry King down here having a conference with the official over an inadvertent whistle call a couple plays ago. So yes, Dave is cueing me in on a few things.
Penalty against Lorain Admiral King pushes it back to the 15-yard line, where it's now 2nd and 15 from the 15. I formation behind Mike Tokarczyk. Tokarczyk, quick drop, fires over on the right side, incomplete. And I'll tell you what, if Kershaw had stepped up another foot or two for Elyria High, he may have stepped right in the path of David Rivera and had an interception return. Instead, it's now 3rd and 15 for Lorain Admiral King. You could hear all the Pioneer coaches to our right go, ooh! He was within perhaps a foot or two of picking that ball off. Kershaw was for Elyria High.
3rd and 15.
Instead, it's 3rd and 15, and now Nazario and Rivera both split wide to the right. Mills and Wooten behind Tokarczyk. Tokarczyk, long signal count. Mike finally gets the handoff, gets the exchange, hands off to Mills, and he's immediately dropped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th and long.
Went the conservative route there. They played it safe. So they'll try and get a good punt away now.
Heathcote was there for Elyria High.
I tell you what, the Admiral King coaches had thought that the Elyria players had gone off sides defensively, though that really wouldn't have helped them too much. They only would have picked up 5 yards on 4th and 15 or 3rd and 15. But you got to wonder what's going to happen on this punt situation. Almost every punt has been an adventure for both teams this evening.
It's going to be the end of the quarter.
Yep, Mills is simply going to let the clock run out. So we will go to the 4th quarter. Elyria and Lorain Admiral King are deadlocked at 6 after 3 quarters in the Kohlmeyer Sports Gridiron. Wow, so the Demons back to within 3. Mills to punt on the first play of the 4th quarter. End over end kick fielded by Chris at the 45. Chris dropped at the 42-yard line. Matt Waldron made his way downfield for Lorain Admiral King to drop Chris, but still Elyria High will have terrific field position to start the 4th quarter. 1st down and 10 at the Lorain Admiral King 42-yard line. 6-6 ball game here at George Daniel Field in Lorain.
Opportunities knocking for the Pioneers. Can they kick in that door? They've got a great chance here.
Are you going to break into a song here, Wally?
No, but I thought of something earlier that I didn't mention. I was going to save it.
Stacked I formation, and Fennick right up the middle again. The fullback inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line of Lorain Admiral King.
Wow, that play has worked successfully almost every time.
Boy, Jason Fennick.
9 carries, 128 yards.
Having a huge night. Patrick Wooten brought him down, and Fennick still on his back at the 28. Certainly in contention for the ever-fresh Chronicle Telegram player of the game, which will take 10
equipment
from the 28-yard line for Elyria High as the Pioneers look to break the tie. Redinger, fake handoff, quick hitter over the middle, complete to Geddes, and he's dropped at the 15-yard line. So they finally hook up, and Ken Geddes with his first reception of the night, and that'll give the Pioneers a first down at the Lorain Admiral King 16-yard line. David Rivera on the stop for the Admirals.
Their 12th first down.
Geddes is such a huge target. You would think if you just toss it up there and let his big lanky frame go for it, he's much bigger than anybody Lorain Admiral King has in the secondary. Kershaw deep back, hand off Fennick, who's back in the ball game, and this time Jason fights for a couple of yards inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. We're down to 10:45 to go in the fourth quarter, and a 6-6 tie between Elyria and Lorain Admiral King. And again, Eric Kinder back on the board is keeping us up to date on that Westlake Avon Lake ball game. Boy, what a dandy going on. Avon Lake's lead now down to 3 at 21-18.
You know, Gary and Tim and Rob, I think this is a point in the game where Elyria has had success the last 2 weeks. They believe they can win. Lorain Admiral King hasn't, and maybe their confidence working against them.
Redinger hands off, and not much room for Fennick. He's thrown down at about the 13-yard line. May have picked up another yard, if that. Kurt Wilhelm in on the stop for Lorain Admiral King. Big third down play here for Elyria High. They've certainly got a terrific kicker in Gary Burke, but I'm sure Darrell Main would like to punch it in right here and get a touchdown and force Lorain Admiral King to match their score.
Right, the special teams are never a sure thing.
Kurt Kershaw, the deep back, and a stacked eye on a third down. Redinger runs the option play, decides to keep it himself, nowhere to go, and he's flung down at about the 10-yard line. And not only did Redinger not pick up much yardage, he also pushed the ball all the way over to the left hash mark.
That's right.
So this will be an odd angle on the field goal attempt.
He missed that extra point, but you did say he is a pretty good kicker.
Burke will attempt the field goal. Chris will hold at about the 17-yard line, so it will be a 27-yard attempt. Ball is at the left hash mark. Chris on one knee, good snap. Chris gets it down. The kick is up, and it is no good. It hit the crossbar, bounced up in the air, hung there for about 2 seconds, and then came down in the end zone. Oh my! The ball boinked off the crossbar, actually just like Justin Mills's did for Lorain Admiral King, and just hung in the air and then fluttered down into the end zone.
Yes, those special teams, never a sure thing.
I guess Redinger needed 1 more yard on that carry.
That's about right. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that
would have been enough.
That always amazes me. We've had 3 kicks attempted tonight. 2 of them have hit the crossbars. If you had to hit the crossbar to score points, they could never do it.
Lorain Admiral King dodges a bullet. First down and 10 at their own 20 after the missed field goal. Tokarczyk, quick drop, quick hitter on the left side, complete to Smith, and Smith shoved out of bounds into the Lorain Admiral King bench at about the 29-yard line. Nice pickup of about 9. Will set up a second down and short situation for Lorain Admiral King.
It's a good play for the Admirals, but they've got to be careful on that, because if the defender reads it, that little short pass like that, he can come right up, and it almost happened before where he can just pick it off and go the other way untouched.
Sean Smith hobbling as he now splits to the left, the short side of the field. Second down and 1. Mike Tokarczyk under center. Hands off Wooten, right side behind his wall of blockers, and he gets out over the 30 to about the 33-yard line, and that'll be a first down for Lorain Admiral King.
Their 7th first down.
We're down to 8:44 to go in the football game, or at least in regulation. We are tied at 6 here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. Again, a reminder of the Burger King Scoreboard Show with Eric Kinder and Mark Ritchie to follow right here on AM 930. Sean Smith wide to the right. First down and 10. Wooten now the deep back in the eye behind Justin Mills. Handoff goes to Mills, though. And Mills doesn't get much. Perhaps to the 34-yard line.
The way things have gone in this ball game, not a lot of offense. As every second ticks down, we're not only that much closer, to overtime, but you get the feeling as if we're going to see an overtime.
Heathcote was there for Elyria High defensively. 2nd down and 9. Lorain Admiral King at their own 34-yard line.
He'll pass here. I have a feeling he's going to pass.
Smith wide to the right. Dickon goes over to meet him for Elyria High.
Illegal.
Smith lurched forward, and that'll be an illegal procedure call against Sean Smith of Tokarczyk. Tokarczyk, fake handoff in the pocket. Looks, throws for Solosi, incomplete. As Solosi couldn't quite get it at the 43. There is a flag over on the far side of the field.
That was close to being interference on Solosi. See, he was bumped right before the ball got there. There was no call. And that would have been a tough call against the defender. But like you said, on the other side, and I think that one might be against Elyria. You would think. No, against Sean Smith.
Offensive pass interference against Sean Smith. Sean Smith was about 30 yards away from the football as he had lined up on the right side of the field, and the pass was intended for Solosi here on the near side, the left side of the field.
Must have pushed off, obviously.
So suddenly, Lorain Admiral King is huddling near their own end zone as the ball is all the way back to the 15-yard line.
And guys, in a game this close, sometimes it's those kind of penalties. It's a loss of down, and it's a field position game now. Now, if they get pinned here, you know, Elyria's not going to have to drive far to score.
Sean Smith splits to the left on a 3rd and 25. Tokarczyk hands off. Wooten looking for room up the middle, and there isn't any. He got to about the 15, perhaps the 16-yard line, and that'll be it.
We're getting some extra pushing and shoving going on out there. You can.
Somebody's hot for Lorain Admiral King. That's Matt Waldron.
Well, Wally and Rob, we've seen 2 critical situations tonight in which Lorain Admiral King has shot themselves in the foot with critical penalties.
You know, in a big rivalry game like this, you have to control your emotions. You can't let them get the best of you.
Take it.
Hope it's not blocked.
Jeez, come on.
Okay.
Nice kick. Off the timeout, Mills with a nice kick for Lorain Admiral King, and then a terrific special teams play. Redinger caught the football at the 48-yard line, and he was immediately hit and dropped by Matt Waldron for the Admirals. Boy, that's a terrific play by Matt Waldron, who got down for Lorain Admiral King special teams-wise.
That's his 2nd straight tackle on the punt for King.
So here we go, 6:40 to go in the football game. We are tied at 6, and Elyria High with the 1st down and 10 at the Lorain Admiral King 46-yard line. Pioneers come out in a double tight stacked eye formation behind Nick Redinger. Dickon is the deep back in the eye. Redinger fake handoff, quick throw over the middle, complete to Geddes, and Geddes to the 35-yard line of Lorain Admiral King.
When he completed that between a heck of a lot of blue jerseys.
So Ken Geddes picks up about 11.
5 for 14 passing for Redinger, 70 yards.
Stacked eye, handoff Fennick right up the middle.
Again.
Fennick blasts his way to the 25, down to about the 21-yard line. Oh my! Jason Fennick has had a ball game tonight for Elyria High.
142 yards now unofficially on 11 carries.
And you're not going to arm tackle him. Not going to happen.
Oh, hard runner.
Fennick, a 210-pound senior. Coming into tonight, Wally, he only had 134 yards total, averaging over 4 yards per carry.
He's doubled his season output in one night.
Stacked eye, Fennick, Helm, and Kershaw behind Redinger. Handoff goes to Kershaw, left side behind Fennick, and Kershaw fights his way to about the 15-yard line. So a nice gain of about 7 for Kershaw, and he's following the block of Fennick. So if Fennick's not running the football, he's blocking for the guy that is. 5.5 minutes to go, and the clock running here at George Daniel Field. 2nd down and 5. Elyria at the Lorain Admiral King 16-yard line. Ball at the left hash mark. Pioneers going left to right on your radio dial. Redinger under center. Hands off to Fennick. Fennick looking for room. This time, Justin Mills comes up for Lorain Admiral King. Mills got him high, and at the bottom of the pile was Corey Fleming for Lorain Admiral King. So for one of the few times tonight, they're able to slow down Fennick and drop him for no gain. It's now 3rd down and 3.
Tell ya, I'd look for Ken Geddes again.
Geddes is lined up here on the near side as a tight end. Schroeder at the other side. Again, stacked eye behind Rediger. Hands off, right side. Dickens looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Andy Dicken from 15 yards out. Dicken with his 4th touchdown of the season, and with 4:27 to go in the ball game, the Pioneers have regained the lead at 12-6. Well, Wally, they didn't throw it to Ken Geddes, but he threw a nice block. End zone, and Elyria leading 12-6 with 4:27 to go. Burke to attempt the extra point. Chris with the hold. Burke with the kick. It's up and good. 4:27 left in the Kohlmeyer Sports Gridiron Clash. 13-6. Elyria plays the drive capped off by Andy Dickens' 15-yard touchdown run. And Elyria High now leading by 7 at 13-6 with 4:27 to go in the football game. Gary Burke, who just added the extra point for Elyria, will now kick it off.
And these kickoffs have been an adventure all night.
And now Gary Burke takes a timeout.
Win tonight too.
Yes, they will. That is if the OHSAA can get the snafu out of the computer program. Kick goes to the right sideline. Coming up on the return, Rivera for Lorain Admiral King all the way out to the midfield stripe before he's upended head over heels by Kurt Kershaw. Terrific return by David Rivera. He caught it on the fly right at the 20-yard line and just kept motoring right up the right sideline right to the 50. So here we go, 4:21 left, and Lorain Admiral King will try to answer the Elyria High score. 13-6, the Pioneers leading, but the Admirals with good field position. Ball resting right at the 50-yard line. Lorain Admiral King going right to left on your radio dial. Sean Smith wide to the left. I formation behind Tokarczyk. Tokarczyk rolling to the left. Here comes the pressure. Tokarczyk keeps the football. He's to the 45 and dropped at the Pioneer 45.
And we got another flag downfield.
Way downfield. All the way at the 20-yard line.
Sean Smith and his defender, and I have a feeling it's going to go against Smith again. It is.
And Terry King saying, son, you're 30 yards away from the play. So now Sean Smith,
he wasn't even involved with the play,
takes a seat on the Lorain Admiral King bench.
Offensive holding. Illegal use of the hands, maybe.
So Sean Smith with a costly penalty for Lorain Admiral King. 1st and 15 as the ball is at the Lorain Admiral King 45-yard line. Joe Nazario in the ball game. Wide to the right. Tokarczyk again. Quick drop. Fires incomplete. Right through the arms of Nazario, who had come in on a slant pattern. Ball went right through his arms at the 50-yard line. Now in for Lorain Admiral King, James Branson. They're running out of offensive weapons. Peoples is out of the ball game. He got ejected. Sean Smith is over here on the near side. So now Branson in the game as a wide receiver goes wide to the right with Rivera in a slot right. 3:43 to go, 2nd down and 15, I formation. Tokarczyk, hands off. Wooten picking his way up the middle and runs right into Jeff Scott. Oh my, what a hit by Jeff Scott at the 48-yard line. It looked as though Wooten had some running room, and then pow, Jeff Scott just came up and leveled him at the 48-yard line. Boy, Patrick Wooten will remember that hit for a while.
They're going to do anything. Well, obviously now on a 3rd and 13 or so, they're going to have to put it in the air. But that's the only way they're going to get it into the end zone.
Tokarczyk back to pass. Flips it left side to Wooten. Wooten to the 50 and thrown into the Admiral King bench right at the 50-yard line. There for Elyria High was Yvonne Miracle, their outside linebacker. Ball just into Elyria territory at the 49-yard line. 4th down and 9.
Got to go for it.
With 3:04 to go. And again,
I don't think they are.
They're going to punt them and try and pin them deep. And, well, you got to hold them then on 3 downs, 3 and out.
Terry King,
You're right.
needs a big defensive stand right here as he sends Justin Mills. But again, Tokarczyk is the up man, and here we go. Lorain Admiral King shifts out. Short snap to Tokarczyk. He looks, throws, complete, and short of the 1st down. The pass was completed to the 42-yard line, but Elyria High was able to throw down the receiver. I believe John Gall on the catch for Lorain Admiral King, but he's about 2 yards short of the 1st. Jim Ondurko did a terrific job for Elyria High. So Elyria takes over 1st down and 10 at their own 43-yard line with 2:58 on the clock. Stacked eye behind Nick Redinger. Ball at the left hash mark. Redinger, long signal count. Hands off to Fennick. The big fullback tries to move the pile. Gets to about the 45, and then he's thrown back. I think they will give him forward progress to about the 45-yard line. 13-6, Elyria High leading by 7, and now Lorain Admiral King takes a timeout, so we'll take a break as well. We'll be with a 7-point lead, 13-6. Stacked eye behind Redinger. Hands off, right side, and spinning to about the 48-yard line, and then dropped there is Andy Dicken.
Well, Tim, during that last time out, the Elyria coaches had their players over here near the sidelines. They definitely want to make sure they don't turn the ball over. You want to hold on to the football and drive off that line of scrimmage and pick up a 1st down or 2 if you can and take a W back to Elyria. That's what they want to do.
Well, here is a huge 3rd down play. 3rd down and 4. Ball right in the middle of the field. Again, double tight, stacked eye behind Redinger. Handoff, Fennick. Fennick barrels his way into Lorain Admiral King territory to the 44-yard line of the Admirals. That's a 1st down, and that may seal it for Elyria High. And appropriately enough, Jason Fennick did the job. What a ball game for the senior fullback linebacker for Elyria High.
Well, that's been their money play all night long. You had to think that Admiral King was looking for that play, but Fennick takes it right up the middle and credit the offensive line with opening a hole for him.
So the Pioneers now only need to kill 1 minute and 40 seconds. 1st down and 10. Handoff Dicken. Dicken left side and looking for yardage. Doesn't find much. May have gotten a yard. That'll make it 2nd and 9, but that's not the most important thing right now. Dicken stayed in bounds, held onto the football, and so the clock will run.
For Jason Fennick, 14 carries, unofficially 155 yards.
About 11 yards a carry.
I was a little surprised on that 3rd and 4 that King didn't have more defensive players up in the box. You know, they kind of stayed in there. You would have thought they would have brought more guys up and contested Fennick.
2nd and 9 from the 43. Redinger. Fake handoff. He's going to keep it himself right side to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and stays in bounds. Dropped at about the 29-yard line by Matt Rossitano, and that will definitely wrap it up for Elyria High. Pioneers can begin to celebrate. 13-6 with 38 seconds to go. Elyria High will win their 3rd in a row and move to 3-2 on the year, and Lorain Admiral King will drop to 1-4 on the season. That last WEOL sideline update from Gary Pelter was brought to you by Quickway Auto Wash at 144 East Bridge Street next to Spitzer in Elyria. And all Nick Redinger needs to do right here is take one snap of the football and put his knee down, and that'll be it. Pioneer band starting their celebratory music over on the far side. Redinger, long signal count, and he does
times.
In the 3rd quarter, they had those opportunities, and they never did convert. You know, on the opening kickoff when they got it, it just didn't work for them.
Redinger Under center, takes the snap, kneels down, and folks, that's the ball game. The Elyria High Pioneers have come to George Daniel Field in Lorain, and they've knocked off the Lorain Admiral King Admirals. The final score in our Colemeyer Sports Gridiron Clash, Elyria 13, Lorain Admiral King 6. We'll be back to wrap it up for you on the ever-fresh postgame show.
This has been a production of WLCS TV 61 Lorain City Schools.